Hey y'all, welcome back to the Sovereign Ratio. With the movement that we're seeing in Bitcoin right now and planning the upcoming year with the halving coming up, I have kind of in my mind a plan, but today I want to talk about altcoins and what my portfolio will look like for the next bull cycle as far as what I believe are solid choices leading into 2024 and 2025. If you're new here or if you're a returning visitor, please smash that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment below. All right, so the first coin that we're going to talk about today is probably my favorite altcoin, and that is Chainlink. First of all, full disclosure, every coin that we talk about today, I do own and I plan on investing in. And the reason for that is not to shill the coin for my own good. It's literally informational because I feel like these are coins that are foundational to the crypto ecosystem. They're also utility coins for the most part. And I think they're really, really good bets for everybody for the next bull cycle. So first of all, I'm looking coin market cap here. I'm just going to give you a brief description of what Chainlink is. Essentially, it's an oracle that helps interconnectedness between chains. As stated by CoinMarketCap, founded in 2017, it's an abstraction layer that enables universally connected smart contracts, which is a method of, essentially like Bitcoin is proof of work, right? Proof of stake generally operates through smart contracts, even though proof of work can operate through smart contracts as well. It's generally associated with proof of stake coins, which maybe we do some more information on that later. Through a decentralized Oracle network, Chainlink allows blockchains to securely interact with external data feeds, events, and payment methods, and providing critical off-chain information needed by complex smart contracts to become the dominant form of digital agreement. Essentially, think about interconnectedness. At this point, Chainlink has made so many connections across different blockchains that if something were to happen to Chainlink, the general crypto ecosystem would suffer tremendously. A lot of people don't really think about Chainlink as an investment because the word that goes around the community is sexy. Chainlink is not a sexy coin, mostly because its price action is not super volatile. You never hear like, oh, there's a huge Chaincoin pump or a Chainlink pump. You never hear, oh, there's a huge Chainlink dump. Most people just don't think about it, but Chainlink, in my opinion, is the best alt to hold. Besides maybe the next one we'll talk about here in a minute. But first, let's take a look at the charts on Chainlink. All right, I'm looking at the weekly time frame on KuCoin to Tether for Chainlink. The reason predominantly because I use KuCoin, so those are the charts that I typically gravitate towards. Now, Chainlink has been around longer than August 17th, 2020, I believe. I think. I have to check on, I think it's like 2017 coin, but regardless, this is enough data for us. You can see Chainlink, it rode up to around $52 in May during the last bull run, and then it's just been slowly going down. It has had some nice bounce action along with the market, but for the most part, you can see it's been in this downwards trend, just like the entire market has. The interesting thing, though, is since the bottom here around 550, it's been grinding sideways. And that generally is better performance than what a lot of the other altcoins have. A lot of the other altcoins will have like another run up and then a bigger dip down, a run up and a bigger dip down. Chainlink has hit this point where it doesn't look like it's ever going to go below that again. I can't guarantee that, but right now Chainlink just does not look like it wants to go below 550. And I've been hearing a lot of rumors that a lot of whales are picking up Chainlink. To me, it's just a no-brainer play. The interoperability that Chainlink has with the rest of the crypto ecosystem is too strong to ignore. And even at this price valuation, if it were never to go to below this price again, current price action up to previous all-time high is a 6x. And most coins that are very, very solid do not go just to their previous all-time high. Generally, they exceed that in a bull market. Not a guarantee, but we can also do a reverse Fibonacci retracement here from top to bottom to kind of get an idea of where it could possibly go. So doing that here, we go to the 1618 and we see a price of 81.82. I could definitely see Chainlink hitting $80 in the next bull run. That's not a crazy number. A lot of people might go to the a lot of people might go to the 2618 for a crazy valuation, which sits at $129. I would say safely somewhere between $80 and $100, but I would put my bet on $80 in the next bull run, which is essentially it's a 10x. It's a little under 11x. That seems like a lot, and it is a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, that happens all the time in crypto bull runs. And a coin that's this foundational, to me, I do think it's a win. So, you put $1,000 in Chainlink at the bull run 2025, you might be sitting on $10,000 if you get right out the top. So, or if it goes to the 2618, like a lot of people think, that was sitting at $120. That is a 15x. I think that's a little aggressive personally. Because Chainlink does not generally have massive price fluctuations, but you never know. The other good thing is because this has been grinding sideways for so long, generally when that happens, when the market takes off, there'll be a big pump. And in the short term here, we might even see a pump to like $13 during this little bear market rally we're having right now, before the dump back down, before the halving. So we could see, price action like this. We have Chainlink pop up, maybe here to the 13, maybe in a really good situation, maybe up here to the 17, and then back down to test the top of this right here at $10. To me, that's probably how I would play this. So to me, that's a very foundational and solid play. All right, for our second coin that I alluded to a minute ago, we're going to take a look at Polygon. So Polygon was previously called the Matic Network whenever it started out. First of all, I should say it's had a lot of big investors. The one that comes to mind immediately is Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban has a very big stake in Polygon. But Polygon, what it started out to be was a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, which is essentially a scaling solution that does a lot of things. In general, it streamlines the transaction process and does reduce overall gas fees whenever you trade through Matic on a decentralized exchange, rather than just trading directly through Ethereum and paying $200, $300, $400 gas fees during a bull run. It was essentially made to scale that and make that a faster and better solution for Ethereum transactions. However, what it's become is it's almost become its own layer 1 at this point. Polygon in the last year, it has made deals with, I believe, Starbucks, Disney, and I think a couple gaming studios. I think it recently made a deal with Google to where it's going to provide solutions for all of these companies as they enter Web3. And that's reflected in its price valuation. It is actually one of the only coins that has performed around the same or even better than Bitcoin. At this point, it's starting to implement ZK rollups, which is a new technology that a lot of people are interested in investing in because of its zero knowledge rollup. I guess that's what it really is. ZK rollup is zero knowledge rollup. That's another video in itself as to what a ZK rollup is, but it is the new hot narrative that's probably going to be coming up, just to put it really simply, in crypto, along with AI, artificial intelligence. So, and it also uses optimistic rollups, which we started to see optimistic rollup coins like OP come out, which is optimism. But let's take a look. All right, so looking at the weekly chart on Polygon, you can see down here after the majority of the bull market had faded away and passed, this was around June of last year, Polygon hit down at 33 cents. And while the rest of the market continued to go down, you can see clearly that Polygon did not. This is around the time that Polygon started to announce partnerships with the larger Fortune 500 companies. And price is just doing completely the opposite of what the rest of the market did. You can see it went from 31 cents all the way up to $1.57, while the rest of the market just continued to tank. Polygon just ripped continuously. And you can see there were even several opportunities to trade here as well. But as a long-term investor, Polygon is fantastic. I think it's going to be one of the best, if not the best performing in general risk to reward ratio asset in the next bull market, just because it's very similar to Chainlink. It's integrated with so many different other companies right now, and the marketing for the token is so strong. I just can't see it doing anything other than several X in the next bull run. In fact, we'll go ahead and do a reverse Fibonacci here on this from top to bottom. because in the last bull run, it did go up to $3, but it was still a fairly new token. I think it's been around for a few years now, but I remember seeing Polygon, in the 30-cent range a long time ago, and then it was $1, and then it went up to $3, and then we came back here to 30 cents. But looking at this at the 1618, I think this is very conservative here at 453. I would actually be more inclined to be more at the 2618 territory, somewhere in between. I think anywhere between like $5 to $6 would be good for Polygon, maybe like 2xing its previous all-time high. I would probably say $6, which is a 500% gain, or a 5x. So $1,000 in Polygon around current valuations could get you $5,000 in the next bull run. Again, I'm not writing any checks on this. This is just my opinion. And I actually do think that's conservative. I really do. Polygon is so strong. I could see it, honestly, I could see it being a $10 coin. That would be at the 3618. That is a very, very, very aggressive level to anticipate, especially this far in advance. But I would say a safe bet on Polygon is $6, but I could see it going all the way up to 10. I really could. It's that strong of a token, and it's still a relatively new token, and there's technology being built on it every day. So take that for what it's worth. All right, so my third pick for the next bull run, at least as it sits right now, is Filecoin. So Filecoin has been around since 2017, and it recently actually just converted itself to a layer 1 platform, which we saw a large run up in price for that. We'll go to the charts here in a minute and take a look at that. But the best way to describe Filecoin without reading any of this is thinking about Airbnb. Whereas someone owns a house and they rent it out as an Airbnb. Consider the house as, think of space, right? A house is space. So you rent out space to somebody for a temporary amount of time until they no longer need it. Filecoin is the same with data and storage. So essentially the Filecoin token governs the ability to transactionalize data on people's computers, essentially. So if somebody has extra storage space, hard drive space, in whatever capacity that might be, Filecoin is a coin that allows people to basically rent out hard drive space to store data temporarily until they don't need that space anymore. Which, as data becomes more on the forefront of everything that we do, data is, in my opinion, data is probably the most important asset that an organization can have at this point. Filecoin, there's other solutions like Arweave that do the same thing, but they're not as far along in the process, I should say, as Filecoin. Arweave might have a little bit stronger technology behind it. It might be able to do different things, but Filecoin is by and large the gold standard for Filecoin, for file tokens, file storage tokens. And I think in the next bull run, this could potentially be the biggest returning as far as not risk to reward, because it's a little bit more risky, but as far as total reward, I could easily see Filecoin being one of the best returning tokens in the next bull run, and we're going to take a look at why. All right, so looking at Filecoin on TradingView, I'm not going to use, I guess I'll do it anyway, but I'm not going to bank on any reverse Fibonacci levels for this. What I'm simply going to say is that the initial ICO over here, I'm not really paying any attention to this crazy candle. What I am, however, paying attention to is the next crazy candle here in March of 2021, which was around the time that Bitcoin had its first peak in that run. And Filecoin did go up to $238 per token. It has since retraced all the way back down at one point. Let me go back here. I have to go pretty far in here to find it. It retraced at one point all the way to $2.28, which is absolutely insane, right? I don't even know that I want to draw a line for that. I'm just going to get out a calculator. So 238 divided by, say, whatever it was, 250, that's a 95x. Do I think we're going to see a $2 Filecoin again? Absolutely not, because back when FTX dumped, that was a coin that was affected by that quite a bit. I don't think we'll ever see a $2 Filecoin again. However, Filecoin, when it became a layer 1, when that was implemented, it did go up to 942, which was a very substantial run from the $2 bottom, right? That was a 3x. And then it's since retraced down to $5. Back up to $7.50, and now it's been back close to actually right at $5 again is where it's retraced to. This is the point where I would buy, somewhere between $4.75 and $5 if it were to ever come back there again. That, in my opinion, is a buying place. And then even more so down here at the $4 level. I don't think we'll ever see below a $4 Filecoin ever again. That's just my opinion. Either way, it is currently holding the bull market support band, which is here, this orange line. This is the weekly support band for the bull market. And you can see it's continuously held that for the most part since blowing past it and going up to $10. I would follow the bull market support band as a good place to start DCAing, and if it happens to go lower, that would be a good place to do it. But Filecoin is one of my biggest positions. I think it's going to have some of the most amazing returns in the next bull run, especially as people start to understand that it is actually, it's utility token. It's usable as is. It's not at its pinnacle by any stretch of the imagination of what it could be, but it is usable. So I've got some levels marked off here. If we do see this bear market rally to its full extent, like I believe we will, sitting at 540 currently, I could see it going up here to around $27 in a really bullish scenario, maybe even just like $20 here. But if we got a solid altcoin run, we could see one of these levels of resistance hit, because we got some resistance here that used to be support, some resistance here that used to be support, but the majority of it is right here. This is probably the biggest area right here. So even a $20 Filecoin, that's a 4x, 3.5x from where we are. Pick some of that up, sell it at 20 bucks. Maybe it comes back down here to retest this support here at what would be a support at 10, 11 bucks. And then over the course of time in the next bull run, we eventually get back up to, $200 Filecoin. That's pretty, that's a pretty big, pretty big goal, I would say. But it is possible. Let's just out of shits and giggles, let's do a reverse Fibonacci on it, which I don't think this would ever happen, but let's set it at just set it here at 280, which I think is it actually went lower than that, but I'll just set it at 280 for brevity's sake. The 1618 is sitting at $383. The 2618 is sitting at $600. I don't think we'll see a $600 Filecoin. I really don't. I would say just getting back to all-time highs would be fantastic. Look at that. That's a 58x from where we are right now. That's an insane return. Think about $1,000 making you $58,000. So I'm going to leave it at that and just call the last all-time high as a goal, right? If it were to go to the 1618, that's a 98x from here. That's just hard to think about, right? The market cap on it would just be crazy. I'm just going to say the 200. I'm going to say 200 bucks. We get back to 200 bucks. That's an incredible return. Anybody would be thrilled to have that. So just some little TA on Filecoin. Its price action is not as steady as something like a Chainlink. You can see it's just been kind of bing-bonging all over the place. This move down was due to FTX, though. It probably would have never gone below $4 if it wasn't for that. So again, $4 to $5, amazing buy opportunity on Filecoin. And we'll move on to the last coin for the day. All right, so our fourth coin that we're going to take a look at today is Thorchain. So Thorchain is a decentralized liquidity protocol that allows users to exchange cryptocurrency assets across a range of networks without losing custody of their assets in the process, which, if you're familiar with crypto custody, custody is essentially the ability to access your crypto at any time. All crypto is stored on the blockchain. Nobody truly has physical possession of it, but what people have is custody, which is the access or the right to access that and use it. There's never really, I think it's a misconception. A lot of people think, hey, I own crypto. It's a digital piece of thing that I actually own. You own the right to access it. You don't actually have possession of it in any form. It's stored on the blockchain. But regardless, without not losing custody within the course of a transaction does help with loss during the transaction process. And Thorchain is basically like a way to swap assets permissionless without needing to rely on like the order books that exist on different decentralized exchanges. Thorchain kind of just makes that happen in whatever way it needs to without you having to worry about it. You can actually go and access the exchange now and exchange tokens. It is live. Thorchain is a little bit more of a risky play. if you look, we'll look at the price chart in a minute. I would not recommend allocating as much capital to Thorchain as I would say Chainlink or Polygon, and probably even less than Filecoin as well. But Thorchain it's known to give huge returns in a short period of time, and it is promising. There are some people like CTO Larson. You might have to Google CTO Larson to see who he is. I'm not going to explain it now, but there are people like CTO Larson that believe very much in Thorchain for the next bull run. So we'll take a look at the trading view chart. All right, so here we are with Thorchain on the weekly view. We can see back here in November 21, Thorchain had a valuation of $17. And I think that was largely in part due to its just initial offering. It kind of went up there. There's a lot of hype around it. And maybe even network activity made that happen as well. But then here in March 2022, we had another major run up, which most of the market did not run up like this. You can see it retraced from that high at $17 all the way down here to $3. And from then it ran up to $13, which was somewhat of an outlier in the market at the time. There were other coins running, but most did not run like this. And that was most likely due to some major event that happened on chain, which I actually don't know. I'm sure that, to me, you show me a chart and I can tell you the story. I'm guessing what happened here was that there was a major event with the chain, whether it had interoperability with some other exchange or whatever, a huge spike in transaction volume or something happened there. But it was a very fast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks from $3 to $13. So huge spike there in a very short period of time. I remember buying it at $3 and I got out at $6 thinking that or maybe even less than that, maybe it was like $5 is when I got out, thinking that I had made a huge, wonderful trade. Unbeknownst to me, it went up way more than that. But as much as it went up, it tanked just as hard, all the way back down to $1.40, which is currently where it sits. It's kind of been hovering in this range since June 2022. Did have a spike up here to $3, little 2x right there. But for the most part, it's ran between $1 and $2 for the last several months. Again, with the way that Thorchain can spike up in price pretty significantly, pretty quick, I could see that happening again. I don't know that that's going to happen in this run, but what I do think, maybe this bear market rally, I should say, in the next bull run, I could see Thorchain reclaiming this $13 level easily, especially since that was in a bear market environment. But let's go ahead and run the Fibonacci on this just to get a little bit of a view here on what we have going on. Go down to $1 basically. That puts the 1618 at $27 and the 2618 at $43. With the way this token accelerates, I could see a spike up past the $17. I could see a spike up to $27 tops in the next bull market. It would be something aggressive like this. It would probably happen just before or just after Bitcoin tops out, whenever that happens, which I think is probably going to be sometime in late 2025, like around Christmas time. 2025 is when I think the next bull market will reach its peak, just a guess. But yeah, major spike up there. That's actually just all-time highs. That would be a 12x. Up to the 1618, that would be a 19x from current price valuation. So $1,000 could nail you, 13,000, 17,000, or 27,000. I know that sounds outlandish and crazy, but that is the nature of an altcoin bull market if we do get one. So that is Thorchain, and that is going to wrap up my 4 altcoin picks for today. There are a few more that I will go through in another video. I tend to believe that a dozen coins is really the most that I want to hold at any time, unless it's a very small position, like $100 on something like, say, Wilder World, or $100 on something like Parabus or whatever. But the major altcoins that I think are worth investing in and are on the safer side, I'm going to go through those in maybe a 3-part video, maybe a 2-part video. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for coming by. I hope you found this information useful. Invest at your own risk and be safe trading out there. Please hit that subscribe button, hit the like, leave me a comment, and recommend this to your friends that are interested in crypto. We're also going to be doing other things like men's dating, men's self-improvement, psychology, all kinds of different things, just general life improvement, self-improvement type material. So hope to see you back in the next video. Safe trading.